Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Gooners podcast. So we are here to are we here to celebrate stuff, or is that banned? Even Arsenal fans celebrating, online platforms is banned, or is that a thing right now?
I don't care. My celebrations haven't stopped since Sunday. So I'll continue my celebration parade with you guys.
Yes, so we are here to challenge the celebration police by celebrating the Arsenal win over Liverpool over the weekend. So with me today we have Arun and Deepak. Hi Arun.
Hello.
Hi Deepak.
Hello.
With the usual stuff, please do support us. We are very thankful for your support till now. It's been great, and please do keep supporting us. Share with your friends and family and whoever follows Arsenal, or force them to follow Arsenal and then share it with them so that they could listen to our ramblings as much as everyone else does. So let's get this started. So this is an interesting result because it brings back a lot of things into place, right? Like it puts us back into the title conversation. It questions Liverpool's mettle. It questions Liverpool's, and I mean there are other questions too. But this is an interesting win. Deepak, I'll start with you. What is your first thought about this game? Like not just the win, like what does it mean and everything about it?
Yeah, it's a huge victory, right? If we lost the game, we would have been for sure out of the title race. It would have been the usual Liverpool versus City. So, in taking into title into context, this is a huge win. So I was like really happy that we are still in the title conversation. Whether we are winning the title or not, that is another thing. But yeah, we have given us like a fair shot right now. So let's see how it goes.
Arun, before the start of the game, right, Arteta mentioned something about like making this the stadium feel like something different, something like an Anfield atmosphere, and it did feel like that. Uh, is and we are seeing these numbers about like Klopp versus Arteta and other things, right? So how is this built up to this game was like in your head? Because for me, I was not very sure that we will win. I wanted us to win, obviously, but I was not like, oh, we will win. Or I was not in the space where, oh, we will lose this game for sure too. I was in a space where it was like, okay, it could be a draw, or it could be something like.
Well, you were more positive than I was because for me, I did not think we were going to win.
Because all the media outlets were completely saying Liverpool's gonna steamroll us and stuff.
Because of what happened in December and to beginning of January, in my head, okay, I was like, I had resorted to a third or a worst case fourth spot finish, but I was like still confident that we'll be able to finish third, and I wasn't like thinking about anything in terms of anything positive in terms of winning the game. So I went in with the mindset that I'll be happy with the draw because I wasn't thinking about title, nothing for me. That was done in December. And even now, I'm not convinced that we are back in the title race. Yes, we are back in the talks, but to be back in the title race, like it took me a lot of time to accept that we are not in the conversation because it took those 7 games for me to like sort of come to the conclusion that we are not there. So like just this game doesn't change anything for me. I want this to repeat for the next 5 games. And as for what you asked in terms of what Arteta meant and the build up to the game, the players and the manager were under immense pressure. Like it wasn't normal because everybody was literally waiting for us to lose this game so they can say like, yeah, we were right, and Arteta or the team is not good enough right now. Because like it also it's not just the pundits or like fans of the other clubs. There's a huge section of our own fans, the Arteta outers, who literally wanted us to lose so their point can be proven. And this game and the way in which the crowd behaved, like it was exactly what Klopp would have done in the same situation. Like ask for the crowd to back the team for the entire 90 minutes, and the crowd did more than that. Like for me, the crowd was one of the most important parts of the game, one of the most important reasons why we won this game. Like they perfectly responded to what the manager asked from them. They gave the energy to the players. There was not one instant where I found that the players' heads were dropping, or they did not have any energy to go through the game. We were in the game till the 90 minutes, 97 minutes. We were there in the game and at the top of our game as well. So for me, what the manager did here was like he is trying to build that. We need to have that. Like if people are always scared about going to Anfield. It's called a cauldron, a fortress. That's exactly what we need to make Emirates. Emirates has this reputation of being a library, and it's only in the last 3 or 4 years that we've been seeing there being some noise. And that was also like sort of not going the right way this season with the ballot system. The fans who were regulars were not getting to go to the game, and these were instead being sold online to tourists. Now, that's not a bad thing, but the people who make the noise are not getting to come to the stadium. That is
Yep.
bad. So that was completely taken out of the equation today. One of my friends from Arsenal Montreal, he was there at the game, and he texted us while the game was beginning, like the first 10 minutes. He texted us asking if we were able to feel the noise on TV, because he told us that people were not able to talk to each other. They were not able to hear each other, even though they were standing next to one another. That's how big it was. So this was very much required for a game like this. And if we don't do it for a game like this, when are we going to do?
Yeah, yeah, and I could see it. I mean, all of us saw that on TV, right? When Liverpool fans wanted to make noise, and then Arsenal fans
That
just
was cut down so
booed.
quickly. That was unbelievable. Like I heard something and then it was like done.
Boo.
30
Yeah,
seconds or something, I heard boost. So yeah, I mean, like this was the fans were like I said, I'll say this again. The fans were one of the big reasons we won this game.
Deepak, but on pitch, right? Like before the game started, this after we came back from Dubai, Arteta has been putting out team sheets that has at least one surprise in it. I don't know if this is a surprise, but I did feel that having Jorginho there was a surprise because, of course, when we heard the news that Jesus isn't playing, we had the inkling that Havertz might play. But having Jorginho there was a complete surprise for me. Did you feel
For
that
me,
way about?
no, I thought Jorginho would start, given that ESR, yeah, probably if Jesus was fit, maybe Havertz would have started in like that position. But yeah, given like Jesus was out, yeah, I was pretty sure that Havertz would start up front and Jorginho would be basically starting. And I don't think so. ESR is like he's up to the speed for this kind of game against Liverpool and stuff. So yeah, it wasn't exactly a surprise when Jesus news came out. This team.
Hmm. But also like Jorginho, for me, the thing is I've always thought that he's one of those when he was playing for Chelsea. I thought like, oh, he's just like one of those players that I love to hate. But then now
Mm.
he's playing for us. I could see the quality. Because of the hate, I did not see the quality. Like even when he played for, his national team and they won those things, I did not see the quality. I was like, okay, yeah, he's just like a
Even
glorified.
like yeah, Chelsea fans used to hate him for some reason. It's like he's not like that fancy kind of name,
Flashy,
right?
yeah,
Everyone
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
everyone expects. So he goes about his business quietly. Yeah, he has his mistakes because he's slow and he might get picked off because like Premier League team likes to press often. But yeah, apart from that, he's probably has been one of the best midfielders for Chelsea, and he played a crucial role for them winning the Champions League when Tuchel was there, right? So yeah, for us to have him as like let's say a second choice midfielder, probably he's not a starter, right? as a second choice midfielder, we are lucky enough, right? He's very experienced at international as well as club level. He has won things, and everyone I think in the team as well as said who is the most intelligent footballer in the squad. I have seen many people naming Jorginho as the most intelligent footballer we have. So everyone respects him. So glad that he was able to put out this performance, and everyone is currently seeing his quality. That
But
it's
the thing is, it kind of highlighted something around in this game, right? Like for me at least, like we know in past, like for example, Mesut Ozil, everyone said he's the most intelligent footballer they have played along with, and I understand that and I accept that. He is. He's one of the most gifted footballer of our generation. But the difference is that it's not just about the brains on the pitch, right? It's also about like the quality of leadership or the quality to control emotions and control a game in that way. Like not just by quality on the footballing skills, but like quality in other ways. I think this team lacks that a little bit. Like we expect if Jorginho is not playing, who do we expect that from? Right? Like Jesus.
In terms of leadership,
Yeah, leadership and calming the team, controlling emotions, knowing what to do on the pitch, how to manage situations. Do like I mean, whenever Jorginho plays, I feel the team is more composed.
yeah.
Do we have anyone else to do that in the team?
Right now, no, but it comes with experience, right? I mean, like Jorginho did not become the Jorginho of today when he was like 23 or 24. It took a lot of time playing in more difficult leagues, like, leagues where there's more emphasis on defense, like more emphasis on tactics. Of course, if he is from Italy, right? Like he played in Italy, and the tactical setup, if you watch Serie A games, is at a very high level when compared to the Premier League. So like we are talking about Pep and Klopp and these people here, but the tactics that they employ there is very high, and there's a lot of emphasis on defensive abilities as well. So Jorginho learned his trade there. And for me, whenever we get someone from Chelsea, there's always this talk of that person being an agent. I knew from the time we got Jorginho that he was going to be good. That was what we were missing in this team, because Arteta always wanted to get that senior player who's won stuff to come and be that, calming presence in the dressing room for the youngsters. We tried doing that with David Lewis, though his performances on the pitch were not like as good as what he thought they were going to be. His presence off the pitch was huge. Like I said, did not give that. He probably gave that to an extent. Aubameyang did not give that. Willian did not give that. So bringing in Jorginho was a huge move. Now, what this will do is more than just this season. We have players who are capable of being captains in the team. I'm not talking about Zinchenko here, because Zinchenko is more emotion than what he doesn't like walk the talk. That's the most important thing a captain has to do. Odegaard does it, but then Odegaard cannot be the only person doing it. You need like a spine in the team, a spine that is filled with leaders, and that's where I feel like Jorginho fills that gap. Plus, his ability was never under question. If you're questioning Jorginho's ability, you don't watch the game properly. That's how good of a player he is. I won't say that he's good enough to win Ballon d'Ors or anything, but like he's a fantastic player. You need tempo setters in teams who know how to slow the game down, who know how to keep the ball moving, and who are not averse to like making any risky passes. Like that's what we when we have complaints against Rice. As good as he's been, he doesn't go for those risky passes. Again,
Yep.
that's his first season with us. Probably that's something that he'll learn through the course of the season and be better next season. But this experience that he brings, that Jorginho brings, adds so much of value. And yesterday on Sunday, he was fantastic. Like not just in terms of experience, but like keeping that midfield at bay. Like they literally took Gravenberg out of the equation.
Yep.
So
I didn't even realize he played.
Liverpool were actually playing with just two midfielders throughout the game, and neither of them was a defensive midfielder. That's how well we took their midfield out of the game. So Jorginho's experience is valuable. Like we keep talking about Mohamed Elneny being a good presence, but if given a chance, if Elneny decides, okay, I'm not going to be playing football anymore, at the club level, or like I wouldn't mind going to another club and coming back to Arsenal because he's doing his coaching badges. I would love to give Jorginho another another contract
Extension,
extension
yeah.
and have
Yep.
him as the third guy. Like that's and he seems to be happy doing that. And whenever he's called in, of course, people will point out to that mistake against Tottenham. But apart from that, in all the games that he's played with the limited game time that he's had, he's performed at the highest level every single time he's been called upon. That's the quality that you need. People don't talk about Paul Scholes as much because he wasn't flashy. He wasn't like scoring goals, the goals that Gerrard did or Lampard did. He wasn't like, but he was the one who decided how United were going to play in that on that day. And
Yep.
that's sort of like what Jorginho is. I'm
Same
really
for us
glad, man.
with
We got him for what,
Gilberto.
12 million?
I think it's, yeah, around that money.
Like
Yeah.
worth every single penny spent on him, 12 million. And they got like 220 million or 240 million. They got two midfielders and they're still missing Jorginho. Enzo wants to leave. So,
I
I
mean,
mean,
we will talk about the dumpster fire that's Chelsea during our PL roundup. But Deepak, regarding the game though, right? Like we started a little bit slow. For the first 10 minutes or so, they had the upper hand, and I mean, as a contrast, the if you see the upper handedness or whatever of Liverpool, it was like first half, first 10 minutes, then the right at the break there was a goal, and then after the break, the first 10 minutes again they had that. Is that like? I mean, it's not a pattern for us to nitpick on, but there has been a lot of talks about, Arsenal gained a fluke victory. I don't understand that talk at all. Like we didn't. This was not a fluke victory. This was not a smash and grab. Apart from that moments, I don't see Liverpool having any say in the game. So play the. You're muted, Deepa.
It was a fluke victory, like the two goals which we scored was a fluke. Then the game should have ended 1-0. Whatever Liverpool scored was also our mistake, right? These pundits can say whatever they want. It was never a fluke victory. This was perfectly planned. We played the same way like we did against them in the FA Cup. It's almost the same tactics which we followed. Like it was 4-2-2-2. Havertz never played as a like a center forward. He was almost like a attacking midfielder along with Ode. And Saka and Martinelli were completely covered at wing. This is what we tried in FA Cup. Of course, it didn't work out. But yeah, this game, Arteta did the same thing, but Liverpool had no answer to that this game. And the crucial part was Jorginho and Havertz. If Jesus had started this game, it might have gone some other way because he would have kept falling around left and right and center. Van Dijk and Konate would have pushed him around. But Havertz played that whatever Darwin Nunes does for Liverpool, he caused chaos in their centre back pairing, which helped Martinelli and Saka a lot.
It is so stark because the other thing that people say is like, oh, Liverpool had a red card. They had a red card at 88th minute.
88, yeah.
The game's almost done at that time.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
I
It
don't
wasn't like they
understand.
did anything to say that red card really like affected us. It wasn't like around that period they were like bombarding us with shots or like they were trying to go go on the offensive or like try to
Yeah,
score goals. They weren't doing anything at that point. It was still us trying to score goals. So whether
I,
like even if you put another person in, I don't know if it would have made any difference there.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? Like in when we talk about like midfield when Gravenberg isn't performing, I don't remember what's his name, Jota doing anything apart from that initial run that he did.
Yep. No.
Or I don't know who their left was. I don't remember what their left side did, like or their right side did. I don't remember anything substantial from any player at Liverpool.
No, they
So
didn't do
I don't understand this whole narrative of like I understand fans having that view, right? Like as a fan, I would be like, oh yeah, we played well. No, but we didn't. They did not play well. We did play
they
well.
didn't play. Yeah, they didn't
And
play well. They were like they can say they underperformed. Maybe the underperformance from Liverpool was due to us like completely negating whatever they had.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see a lot of underperformance as in like players not. I mean, why was Jota not seen in the game? Because he did not receive any ball. Why did he not receive any ball? Is it because Jota was having a bad day? No, it was because there was no chance for
Yeah,
anyone to create any ball.
yeah.
So I
It's
don't
just
understand
that,
this
yeah.
narrative.
It's just like they have to say something bad about Arsenal, right? Yeah, of course, you get views out of it. You get more engagement from fans because our online fans doesn't let anyone talk bad against us, and of course they are going to do this because Arsenal is a huge club. We haven't won anything for such a long time, so obviously, if you talk bad about them, even if we do good, it's going to gain you traction. So that what they have, the only way to shut them up is to win something. Hopefully that happens.
Hopefully. But regarding the goals, I mean, the goals we scored and all those things, there has been a lot of talk about it. But I wanted to talk about the goal we conceded. This season, we have not conceded a lot. We are probably the second best defense. I mean, not probably, we are the second best defense in the league, right? Like with number of goals conceded and everything. But my concern is in the last few games where we have scored a lot, it might be the fear in me that's coming out, but we seem to have a lot more individual mistakes. Like we had Zinchenko making those individual mistakes, and then we now like even last game I felt like not last game, was that the game before when Raya made that mistake, and then now it feels like Saliba. Even last game I didn't feel he was great, and this game he made that mistake. So is this is this a trade-off for all the attacking thing that we are doing, or is this something like we need to iron out again?
Shall
It's
I go?
just iron out, right? Like it's not just because we are attacking more. We have been always doing this mistake. Uh, it's because of, yeah, uh, Raya not being like a world class goalkeeper, or Saliba has been making mistakes, and we know like Gabriel, even though he is great, he has mistakes in him, which like Saliba also has. They are like, I think we talked about this in the last part, right? They are like one level below Van Dijk and Diaz. So this is some kind of thing which we have to go through until they reach their peak powers. But yeah, of course, we have been making mistakes. It's not just your fear. We have been letting goals in, like not because the team, the opposition like deserved it. It's just because of our mistake. Not just this game, right? Even against Luton when it went 3-4, it was just because of Raya. And they were, like you said, Saliba made a mistake, Zinchenko made a mistake. Even in FA Cup, Kiwior scored the own goal. So unless we iron these out things, or we play like Tottenham and say like we are going to just outscore you. Not,
Even
I don't.
Tottenham cannot do that right now, but
No,
I
but the
don't.
thing is, like, if you really think about it, Vijay, every game, like, are we conceding more chances? No. Are we getting like cut through by teams? No.
Mhm.
Like you ideally want all your 11 players on the pitch to be at their best, like, at least put in a 6.5 or a 7 on 10 performance. But when sometimes someone makes a mistake, it's the job of the others to cover up and make sure that that doesn't lead to anything big. Yesterday, we almost did that. Like, when we played against Liverpool, that goal that we considered was again more than being a mistake. It was just a little bit of a lack of communication. And like Saliba doesn't communicate on the pitch as much. He's much quieter, right? So for me, it was just one of those instances, one of those few instances where we did not cover up for a mistake. Like otherwise, like we are playing with Zinchenko at left back. We know he cannot defend to save his life. And in spite of that, we play him at left back because of the positives. We know that if he does make a mistake, there are people there to cover. In one or two of those instances, we concede a goal. But the remaining times we get it covered. So like for me, I wouldn't like worry too much about it. It happens with every team. It happens with every team. So I wouldn't be too worried about it.
See, the thing is, for me, the worrisome thing is, right? Like, if there are 10 chances the opponent creates, and out of the 10 chance, like one was a mistake, or five was a mistake, or three was a mistake, and then one goes in, then I wouldn't be worried about it. But opponent creates two chances, out of which one is a mistake, and that actually is the goal that they score.
Yeah,
That
well,
is my feeling.
then it's like it's more of a problem with our attackers rather than like the
Yeah,
people
they have to
facing the goal.
outscore
We
simply.
have to
Just
outscore. Like the Premier League has become such that no one is like no team can be taken lightly. Luton Town are proving that right now. Like they cannot be even away from home. They cannot be taken lightly. So if you are making a mistake that results in a goal, the onus is on the attacking six to make sure that we outscore them, we score another goal. You cannot keep missing your chances at the other end and say that, oh, we made a mistake at this end and we conceded a goal. No, mistakes at this end might happen, but we cover them. Your job is to score the goals. Do that better, and then like that'll equate things, or we'll outscore them, like Deepak said.
Hmm. Regarding the goals, either of you want to take it up? Like, which was your favorite goal of the three?
Uh, for me,
all three were scrappy goals. But yeah, obviously the Martinelli goal, it changed it, right? I thought, oh fuck, again this is going to happen. We dominated completely, and we got like a punch in the gut going right into halftime, and I was happy that we turned it around. And obviously, for me, the second goal was, yeah, it's probably the third goal. The trick from Prasad was not a trick, but just push and go from Prasad was good. But for me, second goal and it was, maybe happier
Arun,
to see that.
Ar- Arun,
I mean, like it would sound very
I know what
how
you're
do I
gonna
put
say.
it?
I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
For me, it's like the second goal was a gift. I loved it. I mean, like if I were to choose a goal that made me the happiest of the three, it's probably the second goal because it's like two of the best in the business. Probably like these guys, these two would be like Allison would be the top five goalkeepers in the world, probably like ranking second or third, and Van Dijk is in the top five center backs in the world. And them both combining to make a mistake. Usually people combine to like get goals, and them both combining to make a mistake to concede a goal was
Re-
glorious to watch. And it was like redemption for what we gave them as a gift. So that was amazing to watch. But from a footballing point of view, I felt that the first goal was really,
Really good. Yeah.
really, really good. The way in which we cut them open, because generally in games between big teams, you don't see either team like cutting the opposition open. It's usually like a lot of steps before you get to that goal point. But here, like we had purpose in everything, and Zinchenko did things that you wouldn't expect him to do. He passed the ball inward, like I thought he was going to be putting another ball for Gabriel Martinelli. He didn't do that. So this was like really wonderfully done. The way in which we took that goal, the way in which we completed that, and the thing was, it was sort of like a second iteration of what we did for the first chance, in the sense that we wanted to release Martinelli. He was the outlet. He was going to be going. So we were always trying to get the ball there. And this one was the same thing as well. We wanted to get the ball to Martinelli and him to work his magic. But in him pulling away, it gave a great opportunity for Havertz, and Odegaard was unbelievably good to spot that. And I
Did
wouldn't
you
call
did,
this
did,
luck.
did
I
you
would.
see the bench cam video of that?
I've been watching all videos for the last.
Arteta would come up, he'd raise his hand, and then he would raise his hand towards his head, and then he'll realize it's
Yeah,
scored.
it's a goal. Yeah, like I mean, like what Havertz did there, I wasn't expecting him to score. I knew he was going to hit straight at the goalkeeper, and that's exactly what he did.
Every one of us did.
Yeah, I didn't think I didn't think he was going to hit at goal. I didn't think he was going to hit outside of the goal. I knew exactly he was going to hit at Allison's hands, and that's exactly what he did. It was good that we had Saka there. That positioning is a part of the gameplay. I wouldn't say like, oh, it's a fluke or a lucky rebound that went. Lucky rebounds are when the goalkeepers like waffle things up right near the line, and then like someone inside the box is able to hit them. This was all pure positioning. Saka was always there, and he was there to. Once it came down to Saka, I knew it was going to be a goal.
Okay, so I think there is one last thing to talk about this game. I know we can talk about the goals and attacking and strategy and stuff, but I think like there is one last thing that we need to talk about it, which is the celebration police. We did touch upon it a little bit before we started, but I think this is something that needs to be discussed because we talk about like, referees, war, and other stuff, but this is becoming ridiculous. Why is this a bigger topic than the game? Why is this a bigger topic than whatever has happened in this game week or what happened during the game? There was not many pundits who talked about what happened in the game. There was not many pundits who talked about how the game went about. Everyone kept talking about what Arsenal did after the game. It's ridiculous for me, but uh, I mean, I understand that these are former players, right, Deepak? These are former players. I understand they have their own biases and stuff, but you're being paid to being a pundit. Is
Yeah,
that
like yeah, they're being paid to a pundit, but that's what they don't do, right? Obviously, they have their own affiliations and stuff. Like I said, you talk something bad about Arsenal, you get traction. So the only way to shut them up is just keep on celebrating and win the league and ask them to fuck off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I think what fueled this was also Klopp's comments after the game, right? Like, we did talk about Klopp in the last podcast about how good he is and all those things. And I understand as a manager, you have to come out and defend your team and your players after a loss like this. But to come out and blame it on the ref, to make it sound like it was a ridiculous game that was decided by refs, it diverted the whole attention from the game.
It could have been like possibly, but he also ended it saying like, yeah, it was a deserved results. We didn't like had to be there. You're going to complain about referees. Have that, then we can talk about the Havertz penalty. Like I didn't see any of these guys talking about anything when like Chelsea were not given two penalties in their game. I mean, like not that I don't know if that would have made a difference that day the way Liverpool were playing, but it's 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 like we didn't get decisions either.
Yep.
Like, we didn't get that. And we had like all of our players getting yellow cards left, right, and center at one point. So, I mean, like, why? I don't know why he had to say that. I mean, like, even that was like, it was like a backhanded compliment. I felt like when he said at the end that, oh, we should have had this, but we did not have this, like the refereeing decisions. It was very backhanded. Like, you either say the referees were bad and we deserved a win, or you say like we were outplayed and we did not deserve this win. Don't put those two together. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. So for me, yeah, I was a little disappointed, but like, it's I don't know. I mean, like you're getting so many decisions in your favor. When something goes the other way, I mean, if you want to complain, complain, but like don't put those two together. I don't know how that works.
Sounds like a sore loser.
Yeah, sounds like a sore loser, that's the thing.
I don't know. And also on the topic of celebration police, do you want to add anything?
Fuck off. Fuck
Best
off. Leave
response.
us alone. Fuck off. That's it.
Especially, like, I was more irritated with like Jamie Carragher than uh, Gary Neville, because we know that Gary Neville is just a bad
Hey,
pundit.
Carragher is no saint.
Jamie Carragher is as bad as a
Yeah,
pundit
he's
as
no
Gary
saint.
Neville.
Like, yeah, Carragher did not win a Premier League. So he'll keep pointing out every time another team apart from Liverpool comes to challenge for the Premier League. He'll be salty. And especially if given that it's Arsenal, he'll be really, really salty. Like these two fuckers were actually celebrating with the Brentford fans when they beat us 2-0 or 3-0 in the first game of the season. And they have the audacity to tell us not to celebrate. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Leave these two alone. Neville is always salty. He could
Yeah.
not become a successful manager. He was kicked out of the job within 6 months. So he has this like jealousy towards other younger managers of his the same age who are making it big. But the worst one for me is Richard Keys. Like what credibility that this fucker has. Like really, like he's speaking for ESPN and he's saying it's like what is the celebration meter? I want to know. Like you win in the 95th minute, you're allowed to celebrate for 4 minutes at 120 decibels. Or when you win 3-1 in the last minute against a 10-man team, you're not allowed to celebrate. Like who makes these rules? I don't understand. Like what's the whole point of playing the game if you're not allowed to celebrate?
Isn't he the one
Even
who
more
said that?
surprising was Graham Souness being the voice of reason.
Yes, that was very surprising. But it was also like the comment was very hurtful. Like, oh, you won, just walk into the tunnel. That was very disrespectful, is what I felt.
Yeah,
Yeah, they drew against Norwich and they were celebrating as if
yeah.
they won the league. Like Klopp, he didn't like open his mouth that time.
Like
And the same
I'll
against
I'll ask
Everton as
both of
well.
you guys, since Klopp took over, or even before that, how many times had Everton actually challenged Liverpool in a Merseyside derby? Whether it's at Anfield or it's at like their stadium, Everton Stadium, you always know it's 3-pointer for Liverpool.
Yeah.
And it was one of these games that these guys celebrated what Klopp was giving a chest bird to Allison. And all the
In the
Liverpool
middle of
fans
the
were
pitch.
coming back
Yeah.
saying that it's a derby game. Like, fuck off. That's not a derby. That's probably the most one-sided derby in England. Like, you know that's going to be a 3-pointer, and you're telling me that the emotions of the derby are like overtaking you. Fuck off.
Yes, and that is our thoughts on the
Like
game.
Righty
And
said, leave us alone, man. Leave us alone. Like you were not bothered about us before. Leave us alone. Just keep it that way.
yeah, I think that's where we will leave it for this game. Just leave in your comments about what you think about this celebration police and everything else that has happened around this game. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And we are going to continue the discussion with the PL roundups. Okay, to continue our discussion like we usually do about the match day. So this is match day 23, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So initially, when I looked at the fixtures for this week, I thought, okay, Liverpool, Arsenal, big game. Maybe it'll be interesting to see Manchester United and West Ham. That's all I thought. But boy, I was wrong. So many interesting games this week. Let's start with you, Arun, for the Everton Tottenham game. 2-2. Like we know that Tottenham this season has been all about like outscoring their opponents, but this game I felt like Everton had the upper hand most of the game. They
They
played better than
they did. They definitely did. They definitely played, and they are in a position right now where each point is like worth like gold dust, right?
Mhm.
So they have to like keep winning, and they showed that in this game. I mean, Calvert Lewin was Calvert Lewin. I don't know why they're still depending on him. So like, I'm really glad that we didn't make the mistake of like paying anything to get him from them when we were seriously linked, and there was like a lot of talk from the fans as well. But yeah, I mean, like they were pretty good for most parts of the game. I thought they were actually going to win the game towards the end, but it was out of all the chances, with just one that went in, and that was also like almost a gift from Romero.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
headed the ball to Brantford, so
I cannot understand when fans compare Romero to our players.
it
When they
makes no
say,
sense. Like, what does this guy have that would make you think that he's at the same level or better than Saliba or Gabriel?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm
They will come with the World Cup
yeah,
talk.
that's it. Like, it's the same. The World Cup winner tag. Mustafi was a World Cup winner, for crying out loud. So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything. They say they'll come with the argument that Messi said this guy is the best center back in the world. Fuck off. Now, honestly, like if I put Ben White as a center back, he would perform better than Romero. I'm 200% sure.
I mean, 100% sure that's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
So this like Van de Ven is coming back, and the problem with the way in which they play this was like I was talking to a Spurs fan, and he told me this. The gameplay and the style is all good because it's all vibes, but they are too dependent on Van de Ven and Vicario at the back to save them because everything is being open. Pedro Porro
Yeah.
is not a defense-minded guy. He's like, oh yeah, he's
Same with Udogi.
yeah,
They are too
they
open.
both are attacking high up the pitch, which gives a lot for Van de Ven and Vicario to do. And Van de Ven is being forced to accelerate like so quickly, so many times on the pitch that it's likely to lead to long-term injuries. Yeah, players are not supposed to like be doing that. You don't see like a Saliba or a Van Dijk doing that every single game. But Van de Ven, if you see him, he's doing it every single game. So like all like this guy I know who's a fan, like he's always been positive about Ange, but this is the first time he said like, oh, this could possibly be a problem. Like I love the fact that he sticks to his principles and plays the same way, no matter whether we were 11, 10, 9, or whether we're chasing the game, we're having a lead. But these things are the ones that make difference in the longer run between like you being able to uh, be in contention for like European spots or like losing out on everything. And these are the small doubts that, have started popping up. So that's good to see.
We have played Everton in Goodison Park, right?
We won.
Yeah, happy.
Very
No
happy.
more. We don't have to go there.
Deepak, the next game is the Brighton Crystal Palace. I mean,
Yeah,
what
I
is
saw that
wrong?
game.
What
Yeah,
is wrong with Brighton? One game they
They-
play shit. This game, I mean, Crystal Palace is not a great team to have this, you know.
no, actually, Brighton has been underperforming a lot, like the last 7 or 8 games. I think they haven't won. There have been a lot of draws. So yeah, Crystal Palace is expected, right? Olise was out as a last week, as I said. If those two are not there, they are a team primed to get relegated. So that's what happened. They got literally dominated in the first 45
But
minutes.
but I was just looking at the stats. Brighton had 800 plus passes. 800 plus. Even Manchester City this week had 750 passes.
Yeah, Brighton is the only team who can challenge City, right? And basically, they are the only team
In the pass
who has
number of
outpassed
passes.
City. Yeah.
Yeah, but 4 goals is still 4 goals, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are a good team to watch. Whatever they do, even if they are shit, there will be like 4 goals against them. If they are good, they will score more goals.
That's the thing. That's exactly what I was about to say. Now let's see the game. Next game I'm seeing here is against Tottenham away from home. Let's see what they do in that game. I wouldn't be surprised if they concede 4 goals there.
Yeah,
And Tottenham has the capacity to do the exact same
Yeah,
thing too.
yeah, they're like Brighton in a different form. Well, that's what I would say.
The most interesting game for me. I woke up and I was watching this game. I was supposed to go out, and it was like 15 minutes to the end whistle, and I was like, no, I will rather skip going out than not watch this game. That was Newcastle Luton Town. I mean, Luton Town is having one of the best resurgence in this season, right?
Definitely.
not even in this season. Like probably last 5, 6
Yeah,
games.
last 4, 5 games.
Uh, given their resources, right? What they are currently doing is ridiculous.
I'm really
They're
rooting for them to stay up. I want them to stay up. Like, whether it means
yeah.
they are going to do more this season or next season, or they're going to go down again next season, it doesn't matter. But a team that puts in so much of heart into every game that they play, with, like Deepak said, the resources that they have, a 12,000 seater stadium, which looks like one of those old English castles or from the outside. And it's like the way they are going toe to toe with all of these teams is so heartening.
Especially with Newcastle, right? With
Yeah, they're like
uh,
enemy number 2. So
but still, like, what's that guy's name? Adebayo or whatever.
Yeah.
He was very impressive during this game.
yeah,
I think he scored a goal, but even before that, he was very impressive. I was like, oh, maybe we should look at him. Maybe.
for what we already have Eddie and Katea. I would rather like go for Avoni rather than Adebayo.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting game of the week. Definitely 4-4 was absolutely bonkers. The next game is about Burnley and Fulham, 2-2. Is Burnley
I
going to
didn't
stay
watch
up?
that game. I didn't
Me
watch
neither.
that game.
Me neither.
Burnley, I think it's doubtful.
Are you asking if Burnley are going to stay up?
But
No.
Are you mad? Seriously? There's no way they're staying up.
I
There's
just wanted
no
that
way they're
answer.
staying up. They have negative 23 goal difference. There's no way they're staying up. Them and Sheffield United are going down for sure. Is the third team that we have to like talk about. Those two are 100% going up. Like, even Everton with all those point reductions have more points than these two teams. Almost more points than these two teams combined. There's no way that these two are staying.
True. The next game I was about to talk about is the Sheffield United. Aston Villa roared back with a 5-0 victory over them. I mean, I don't know. It was not anything to talk about because the game was like so one-sided. Um, they just toyed all the way.
Sheffield
They...
has minus 40 goal difference.
Exactly. Exactly. There are minus 40 goal difference. People score goals against them for fun. Home or away, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, like, I wasn't really surprised with the result, to be very honest.
Deepak, the important game was Manchester United versus West Ham. I
Yeah.
mean, you were saying something before we started the podcast.
So yeah, West Ham hasn't won any game in 2024. Like, and our the next game for West Ham is against us.
We know
So, yeah,
exactly what could happen.
yeah,
All our Arsenal
even
jinx could.
yeah, they lost against Bristol City in FA Cup. So, so you
It's
know
high.
what is
What
going
it
to
all
happen.
means.
But yeah, I thought that game against United and West Ham. The United played really well, actually. Not really well, but yeah, West Ham had their chances, but United took the chances. Hoylund is coming good. He's like a very good prospect. If he is molded well, he might turn out to be a great striker. He has all those attributes. He's fast. He's powerful. He can head the ball. And if you saw the finish for the first goal, it was really good. So yeah, hopefully he doesn't succeed there because he's United and he goes to some other team. But yeah, he's a good youngster. They have always with United, right? They always have these good youngsters upcoming. But yeah, if they find, I don't know, Ten Hag is a good manager or not, given this season has been going. But obviously, I don't want them to succeed in United, but somewhere else.
I'll finish the rest two games before we go back to the big one of the weekend, which is the Bournemouth Nottingham Forest. That's a 1-1 draw. Arun, any thoughts? Did you watch it or no?
Bournemouth game, no, I did not watch that one actually. I did not watch the Bournemouth game.
I don't think you missed out on that much.
Yeah, because I think it was on Sunday, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I was getting ready to go watch the Liverpool game because going to the pub for a game like this, you have to go there an hour early. So yeah. I wasn't worried. I didn't watch that game.
Brentford City
And I didn't
again.
bother watching the highlights or the replay either. So
Brentford City,
Yeah.
not a surprise at all. 3-1 to City is just regular business. But the big one for the weekend was Chelsea Wolves.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pochettino is going to get fired.
no, did you not see that? They cannot fire him
Yeah.
because of the amount of money that they have to pay him. I'm loving this so much. The way they brought themselves into this shit. I'm loving this so much,
it's,
For
it's
all
like
that they did for the last 20 years and all the taunting that their fans did, just to see them like cry literally every day on my TL and watching angry rantmen scream Pochettino out, Boli out. It's like music to my ears right now. I'm loving this. You don't
So
have to win anything to enjoy this, to be honest.
when the ownership changed for Chelsea, right? There were talks about like, oh, Todd Bowley is gonna continue, and he started like signing players left, right, and center, and he was throwing money the same way what Abramovich did when he took over, and everyone's like, oh, this is gonna be a smooth. But I felt that what Abramovich did was more footballing reasons,
Yeah.
whereas Todd Bowley is doing it for more ego reasons.
If you
And
think
that's
about
where
it, when Abramovich came in, he went on that like with he saw things weren't working out with Ranieri. He got Mourinho in and he gave him all the players that he wanted. And that was the only time that he spent as much money. Once he knew what his team was shaping up to be, he kept those 4 or 5 players there all the time. Czech was always there, Terry was always there, Lampard was always there, Drogba was always there. So these guys were the ones who were controlling everything at the club, bringing. Say anything about Mourinho, but he brought that winning mentality into a team that was like going through these new riches. Not all nouveau rich clubs are going to succeed. We've seen that with so many other clubs. But Mourinho brought in, and that stayed on with these guys. No matter who came in, that just spread to these guys. But now with Boli, he just feels that like by getting all
Yeah.
of these players in mass, they can actually win anything. Maybe he thought about like the potential of this team staying together for the next 10 years and then like chopping players down along the way. But for this team to be staying together for 10 years and be happy at the same time, a lot of things need to go right.
See, that's where I actually kind of have a different opinion on this, right? Like, Arun, I know you have a higher opinion on this team's potential and stuff. And I see that. I see that there are players here who has like higher potential and stuff. But I don't see this as a team. Like the earlier Chelsea teams when they won
Yeah.
all those cups and stuff, even when they chopped and changed managers so much, the team was still a very strong team. The team had that, like when Hazard, Oscar, and all those people were there too, it was still a very strong team.
Because there
It's
was
not.
always someone experienced playing with a Hazard or an Oscar or a Willian. Right now, the most experienced players that they have are Sterling and Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva is nearing 40, and Sterling is never known for his leadership skills. And he's waning down. Nobody in their right mind would pay like 40 or 45 million to get Sterling like these guys did. When you're going to get that experience, go for a better player. Like make a mistake, get 3 or 4 players who have done it a lot but probably are not at their sharpest right now. The mistakes that they make on the pitch would be compensated for by with what they do off the pitch. That's what the David Luiz did for us, and that's exactly what Chelsea are missing right now. They're relying too
These,
much on Thiago Silva, who doesn't speak the language. Firstly,
yeah,
like as
these idiot Chelsea fans deserve this. They wanted Thomas Tuchel out when
yeah,
he was
Yeah.
probably the most calming presence they needed at the time, just because the way of their football wasn't pleasing to them. Now they deserve this.
they talk as if Mourinho was like playing champion football week in
Yeah,
week out. Like it's they were with Conte for crying out loud. So
Yep.
yeah, suffer, suffer.
But do you guys see that like Todd Bowley would be brave enough or like stupid enough to make the mistake of like, oh, let us sack Pochettino?
I don't
Um,
think so. Yeah,
because mainly because I
yeah,
can see there being another manager at the same level who could like clear this mess right now, and you are only left with Mourinho as an option or
yeah.
Antonio Conte as an option.
It's time for special one to come back
Yeah, because
Another time, another
another time.
time.
Yeah,
no other manager in their right mind would want to come and like get into this mess and damage their reputation. Zidane said no, I believe. Like even when they approached him at the beginning, he said no. I don't think Nagelsmann's going to come. I don't think Flick's going to come. Ruben Amorim or the other guys, Peter Bosch or the other guys that we're talking about, they do not have the experience at the highest level to manage all these expectations of a top six
yeah.
club in England. So you're left with 2 options, and both of them are jobless right now, which says a lot about like what bringing them would entail. And Mourinho is not going to come for a six month like band-aid job. He would
No.
want a 2 year thing, and he would not want. He's never been able to work as well with young players, and the Chelsea average age is 23 or 24.
Yep.
So it's like they've set
But
themselves
yeah,
up for a massive failure, and I'm absolutely loving it.
And
it
on
will
the
be
other
fun
side,
to have Mourinho back. Whatever we say, he's just like a box office appeal.
but on the other side, right? Like Pochettino, apart from that Spurs regime, I and I don't see him doing well
No,
anywhere. Like,
I had a lot of expectations from him with this Chelsea team, to be honest,
Yeah,
because of the fact that these guys were all young and Pochettino puts them to the drill. And I wasn't expecting them to do anything amazing this year. I thought they would be in some sort of European competition scramble and they would start
but
being top
it's
force in
more than,
that.
for me, it's not about like whether they're getting results, right? I don't see anything special from this
Yeah, that's
team
what I
on
was about to
pitch.
say. I was totally proven wrong by whatever is happening with them right now.
Well, we'll see. We'll wait and see who goes first. But that is our end of this podcast. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for joining in, and for everyone listening. Please do comment in your thoughts on this whole Chelsea situation. And yeah, we'll meet you after the next game. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.